Mahapatra Babaji is said to be a highly evolved master who is said to be living in the Himalayas, and yes, he is said to be existing since many thousands of years, and he is said to have a band of highly evolved disciples who are said to be moving around with him. Now, the talk about this particular guru was made by Paramahamsa Yogananda in his book Autobiography of a Yogi. And in that he had described his guru's guru, Lahiri Mahashaya, who had met Sri Babaji and stayed with him, and he was trained under Babaji, and he had also described various miracular powers of Sri Babaji, and he had also described how he himself had encountered Babaji when Babaji paid a visit to him before he left for America. Now, these were the things that he had mentioned, but subsequently what has happened is that many people have come forward to claiming to have met Sri Babaji in various locations, and all these people are from the Kriya Yoga lineage, and they all have claimed that Babaji taught them Kriya Yoga, the various levels or various higher levels of Kriya. But recently I came across one more gentleman who is claiming that he had spent about 3 years with Babaji, and Babaji had taught him martial arts. This, yogic, he says that it's a yogic martial arts that is known to yogis in the Himalayas. This is something I felt very ridiculous because see, when I look at these different claims, maybe we may not doubt them much because they are all from the same lineage of Kriya Yoga. But this claim of Babaji teaching somebody martial arts, self-defense, that sounds something really, undigestible. Now, what I would like to point out here is that whatever is a person's claim, whereas this, whether it is of citing a highly evolved master or spending time with him, whatever, all these, when you look deeply or closely, all these are ideas that arising in consciousness. Anything and everything is just an appearance in consciousness, just appears and fades away. So likewise, any thought, the idea of Babaji appearing, or even the feeling of Babaji appearing in front of somebody, all these, if you look closely, are just waves arising in consciousness. Ultimately, all these are not real. Only thing, when we observe very closely, that is real is only consciousness. And consciousness has no liking, disliking, no desire to you know, uh, appear in a specialized form. It is beyond time and space. Now, what we need to carefully look at here and understand to come out of all these kinds of superstitions is, suppose if you, even if you are not able to understand what this consciousness is, or the Atma is, or the self is, just look at it this way. A yogi who has transcended the world, meaning he has already realized that the world is mithya, or is an illusion. Such a yogi he can only see the world as just a passing thought, or a dream. Now, even a normal human being, why would a normal human being like you and me would even want to go back in our yesterday's dream or the previous night's dream? Go back there into the dream, get back into that dream that is already past, or that you know is a dream, it's an illusion, there is no reality about it. You want to go back, get into that dream again and teach the so-called people in that dream. Where are the people in that dream? Everything is an illusion. So for a yogi who is realized, for him the world itself is an illusion. So why would he even consider going back and teaching somebody in this illusionary world? First of all, that thought will not arise. No thoughts will arise. Desire will not arise. For a person who is fully realized. So the idea of such a highly enlightened being, traveling the length and breadth of Himalayas for thousands of years with a band of disciples sounds really a false claim, because such a being will not, first of all, want to get back into the dream and teach somebody. And such a person, or we can't even call that as a person, because person happens to be in the time and space realm, but a person who has realized is beyond this realm. It becomes consciousness itself, which has no desire of whether taking birth or not taking birth. Even if the birth happens, doesn't matter. It doesn't. The consciousness is not even concerned about all this small, whether small or big. See, what we need to understand here is that all this, whatever appears, the life, the world, it is just appearing and fading away. Nobody is creating it. It is the nature of consciousness to give rise to these kind of things. So we just need to understand this as the nature of consciousness, nothing more than that. So there is nobody doing anything with purpose, that something has to be created this way or this event has to go this way. Nothing like that. It is just happening. There is no reason for anything. Any event happens for its own sake. You cannot attribute any particular reason. Because when you look deep at each of these experiences, these are all just arising in consciousness. If you could understand what this consciousness is, then you'll know what I'm saying. And coming to this claim about highly evolved disciples, now in understanding this consciousness or the self, how can you say that there are different levels of understanding? There can be no different levels of understanding. Understanding is instantaneous. If you understand just now that everything is consciousness and over, and there is no gradation, like little evolved and little more evolved and highly evolved, nothing like that. So that being the case, where is the question of this highly evolved beings or highly evolved disciples and a person who is highly evolved, meaning he has understood what is consciousness, and he has understood that the world is illusion. He has understood that he is not the body or the mind or even the ego. Such a person, he has no ego. He doesn't consider his body as his own. He just considers it as an appearance in consciousness, and he considers himself as a consciousness. So that kind of a being, why will he desire to have a band of followers with him? For what purpose? Where is the purpose at all? There is no purpose. Such a being has no purpose. Such a being is like a dry leaf flying in the wind. No purpose, just floating around. Whatever is happening, if it is floating, if it is floating, if it is just staying still, it's staying still. That is all. No purpose at all. So I feel that such claims can be brushed aside as ridiculous. These could be people simply making claims for their own material gains. So before getting into these kinds of things and blindly trying to blindly following or taking up some activity or practice, consider what it is about, what they are trying to say, what they are conveying. Whether the teaching is wholesome, what they are teaching is really the true knowledge. So this is what I wanted to say. Thank you.